live at this podium. We're going to break out and go into this when it starts. But for now, let's listen into some of the coverage that we had earlier today talking about this devastating situation in Texas.
Welcome back here on Live Now from Fox, 1017 on the East Coast, and it is 717 on the West Coast. You are taking a live look right now over Kerr County, Texas. State confirming there at least 24 people have died, and at last check somewhere between 23 and 25 girls at a Christian summer camp in Hunt are considered to be quote-unquote unaccounted for. We did see video and images of children being rescued from Camp Mystic and other locations, with emergency officials saying as of last night, they had conducted more than 200 rescue operations across the region. We have also learned from officials just a short time ago here that it appears a news conference will take place in just about an hour. That's set for 11 a.m. Eastern time. That is 10 a.m. local time. So we will bring that to you in full, as we always do here on Live Now from Fox. In the meantime, I do want to bring in Louis Amistoy, the editor and publisher at the Kerr County Lead, to discuss all of this. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today and talk about it.
Yeah, no problem.
And first off, I did want to ask you what the situation is like there on the ground, because we've all seen the images and we just showed some of them that have come into our newsroom. But what is it like overall? Do we have an idea of the scale of the damage?
Well, I mean, the scale of the damage, if you have been to the hill country, you know that the river is lined with massive cypress trees that go deep into the western part of Kerr County. So we're like 65 miles west of San Antonio. And those have basically been stripped out. The bark has been removed from them. There's debris in the river, massive amounts of debris in the river. There's some pictures of cars and some off-road vehicles, but the damage is most intensive in the Ingram, Hunt areas, which is, I think you're looking at a shot maybe from Hunt there, and the water crossings are just torn up, and you've got areas that just were hit so hard and so fast, especially upstream, where the river sort of, we're at the headwaters of the Guadalupe River, and there's two forks. There's the North Fork and there's two forks. There's the North Fork and
familiar with that area specifically. Can you kind of go into detail about of that specific location?
Right. I mean, for Texans, the hill country is sort of a romantic place. It's very different. Texans, the hill country is sort of a romantic place. It's very different from the rest of Texas. It's obviously it's hilly.
As I mentioned, we are going to pivot because we are seeing live, and we hope that the connection stabilizes. Now let's listen into the governor. Let's hear the latest from Central Texas.
Some things to share. First, what I have observed in this community over the past 24 hours is what I call quintessential Texas. When Texas face a challenge, we come together, we unite. And that's exactly what's happened over the past 24 to 40 hours in this community. Nothing more than extraordinary devastation. And the worst thing that could have happened to this community fell apart. They could have fallen apart. They could have fought against each other. Unity. That's what Texans do. That's what we will continue to do. Along those lines, something else to double down on what I said last time. We will be relentless in going after and ensuring that we locate every single person who's been a victim of this flooding event. We're not going to stop today or tomorrow. We will stop when the job is completed. Between now and whenever that day arrives when the job is completed, this is a 24/7 operation, day and night, because we know that we are looking for Texans and Americans, and we put them as our top priority, and we will find every one of them. Additionally, I want to let you know that overnight there was an increase in storm damage and rainfall and flooding in other regions of the state of Texas that were in addition to the ones that were in the disaster declaration that I made yesterday. What I'm going to sign today is an expanded disaster declaration that adds the following counties to what I signed yesterday. This disaster declaration includes Bexar County, Vernon, Caldwell, Guadalupe, Travis, and Williamson counties. We will continue to add counties as needed, as conditions either worsen or improve in counties across the state of Texas. We will ensure that every asset and resource the state has is going to be made available to every county that's the subject of this disaster declaration. Also, I've had the opportunity to visit not just with Secretary No, but other officials in the Trump administration. And we know loves Texas, for one. He's deeply concerned about all the families who've been affected, but also knows about the magnitude of the devastation that we're suffering. And so what I'm about to sign now is going to be the first step in a process. This document is a request for a federal disaster declaration coming from the governor to seek the immediate and ongoing help of the federal government. I want to express my gratitude in advance to President Trump for his entire administration for their devotion to the state of Texas. He always tells me about his love for the people of the state of Texas, his deep concern for them, and I know that he's feeling that now as much as he ever has. And there's no better way than the fact that he wanted to ensure that he and his entire administration was represented here today by Secretary Christy No, to whom I would like to turn things over at this time.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here today. And I want to thank Governor Abbott for his leadership. And know that President Trump is absolutely heartbroken by what has happened here in Texas. And the loss of life is absolutely devastating to him and Melania. This morning I talked with him several times, and he wanted to make sure that all of you know how much he loves Texas, how much he's grieving for your families that have lost someone and the beautiful children that we're still looking for and hoping to return to their families, and that he is absolutely committed to using all the resources of the federal government to help unify families, rescue all those that are still missing, and return those who maybe we will recover back to their families as soon as possible, and that we will be here walking alongside each other and helping throughout this entire crisis. And know that I'm extremely grateful as well for the leadership of Tim Kidd, who's a fantastic emergency operations manager and has been well known throughout this country. It is unprecedented. We recognize that at the federal level. We also recognize that when something like this happens to a community, happens to a state, that the best responders are those locally, because it's your family members, it's your community members, and you can respond quickly. And the role of the state is to run and manage